And we are live. I forgot to add mine, bro. Okay, now I'm also now I'm also live on my channels. We only had your channel selected. What is up, everyone? Yo, yo, yo. What is up, Mikey? What is up, Surfer? We had some technical difficulties, but we are live. Damn, Surfer, where are you located? It's a good morning. It's 7 p.m. for me. 7 p.m. for me right now. Let me share the link on YouTube real quick. Did someone just say power couple?
Yeah. Uh,
Let's go, yes, let's go, Vision. How are you guys all doing? I'm just gonna share the link with the people in the Discord as well. Let me share that, and then we're gonna get into all the juicy stuff.
Solana Beach, California. So, sounds good. Sounds good.
Let me pull it back up.
Gabriel, welcome. Always, he's always there. Let's go. Wyckoff bosses. Let's go.
Okay, my screen is currently gone. Wait, let me pull back up. Okay, I'm back. 10:22 a.m. Damn. What is up, Liam? What is up, Tasty? What is up, Dave?
Hey, Lars, your wrong screen is connected, I think. Like your Twitter. I see your Twitter.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's the same screen.
Oh, that's the same one. All right, all right.
It's the same
K
screen.
K3 in the house. Good evening.
Good evening, guys. How has everyone's Monday been? The markets have been correcting. Surprise, surprise, right? Made a post this morning regarding the fact that sentiment is oftentimes very hard to trade, but in certain occasions, sentiment can actually be traded very well, especially in line with obviously the TCT concepts. But we had that same effect where in October people were talking about Uptober. And then what happened? You get a retrace. And now I think everyone was talking about that trend line weekly break of structure, which is just too obvious, right? It's too obvious to just go up straight from there. Oftentimes, when everyone is waiting for the exact same break of structure, what does that break of structure tell you? It doesn't mean that after that break of structure, you're going to go up in a straight line, right? It just means that we have broken structure. So now we can retrace for a potential higher low. But going up in a straight line is obviously too good to be true. So we gave people enough time to join. Mr. Wyckoff Insider, you can kick it off, talk about some price action. I'll start with Bitcoin, give your views on the market, and then I'll take over from there.
Yeah, so guys, good evening or good morning. Depends on the part in the world you are. So let's start with Bitcoin. Nah, higher time frame wise, just a nice thought process. So you're at your range. It was the topping range. This right here was the Bitcoin all-time high previous cycle. Now we did go down. You had the manipulation phase where the market makers and the wolves positioned themselves. Now you got the bullish expansion away, hitting the target of the macro PO3. It was right here, hitting the all-time high. Now we got the retrace. BlackRock announced ETF launch. Now they already were talking about it right here, but here, somewhere in here, it did go live. So there are new players in the market. They want to position themselves. They're not gonna push price while they are positioning themselves. No, they create a reaccumulation range where they buy in. For them to buy, they need other people to sell. So they create FUD, 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 World War III, world is ending, and 10 things more. Also, we go to 44K only to create FUD so they can buy. Now, you see, BlackRock bought over $1 billion of Bitcoin last week. Now, they had 7 months to accumulate in here. They are accumulating heavy. So the moment we break out of this whole range act as demand, as support. We never go back below this range. It literally can't happen. BlackRock bought in this range. Believe me, guys, BlackRock will not go into a loss. They will protect their positions. So that's some nice higher time frame view. Everything that's going on locally right here is just yeah local fuckery, I would say. Don't put too much weight on it. We can go in it, we can go over it. So if I go on the lower time frame, now we just hit extreme market maker supply. So this was your model one Wyckoff distribution that pushes down to the capitulation low. Now we came up to extreme market maker supply. So this is a normal place where you could expect a reaction. Now, too many people, in my opinion, are waiting for a deep retracement. It could happen, guys. We have the zones marked out. For me, this retracement is not enough to add spot on my altcoins. Some altcoins are down 20%. In my opinion, nothing crazy. If we go down to these zones, some alts can be down like 40%. Then I will look to add to them. But right now, cash position is still on the side. But with this type of price action, I get the same. Yeah, I have the same feeling. If we go back in time, like the moment you break, so this is your range right here. The moment you're gonna trend up and you break out of your range, it's so aggressive. The market makers are happy with their positions. They don't need your demand, your liquidity anymore to fill more. So they only push price down to liquidate over leveraged longs. So that's why we have these zones marked out, but we don't have to come to it. Time will tell. We are not here to predict. Same here. You have your whole range. The moment the range is done, the market makers have filled enough positions. You go up, you get some pullbacks, but eventually it's really aggressive, leaving retail behind. Same here, you have your range. The moment you go up, you have some pullbacks, but it's so aggressive, leaving again retail behind. So that's my thought process with the current Bitcoin price action. Lars, do you have something to add to this?
Yeah, even if you stay on your screen and you go back to that last range you were talking about. No, the range prior to that one. Yeah. It's also just look at the way that they broke out of that range because I remember us talking about it, how they left so much sell side liquidity behind the moment you broke out from that range, right? Even in the range, and then the moment you broke out of the range, you can see all that sell side liquidity, and it's like I even remember me talking about, man, we are leaving so behind so much sell side liquidity. Like, are we gonna come back for that, right? But it's very typical that the moment you actually start leaving the range, it's like it goes up in this like sideways fashion until it just pops off and then never giving that retest, right? It basically comes down to not giving that retest that everyone desires. It's like it's very annoying also for people that just wait for that liquidity sweep while the liquidity sweep was already there at the range low. That deviation on your chart at the range low, that was the
Bro,
ultimate liquidity sweep. Like, you can see that manipulation candle, right? You can
bro,
see that
please.
manipulation candle. It was absolutely ridiculous what happened down there. And I think maybe something similar could happen. So I'm gonna take over the screen for a moment,
Mhm.
and we can see the Bitcoin price action. If we actually identify what exactly happened last time we broke our range, which was our literally our bear market range, I think we haven't seen anything that manipulative on the Bitcoin price action as what happened in this bear market low. Because it's something I will never forget, right? It's something I'll never forget. So, how this range initially started is you had your range low, right? You had your range low, and then you had your range high right here. And from there, we broke down from our range low. However, this is not a breakout. This is a deviation. And for the people that have watched the mentorship, you guys know you can use your DL2, which is your deviation limit tool, and you can see that this break stayed inside of our deviation limit area, making it still a valid deviation. So once we came back inside, we could talk about a potential range reversal. So we had this range deviation right here at the bottom. But from there, right, what happened the moment we came into that range high area? So what happened is that we actually initially deviated our range high. So we were forming a accumulation bottom, but we didn't break out immediately. We formed a deviation, and what actually happened, and this was the biggest trick of them all, I don't know if you remember Mr. Wyckoff, but we were in Spain when this happened.
Bro, that
and
was crazy.
That was crazy. So, what happened was that following our main structure from that most recent rotation in the range, is we basically had higher lows and higher highs, right? We had higher lows and higher highs. And right here, after deviating our macro range high, we broke structure on the daily time frame back to bearish. Guys, everyone was talking about a full on rotation down. And even I was worried. I was like, where is this going to go? Right? Where is this headed towards? Because we just deviated our high and we broke structure back to bearish. But then the unimaginable happened. Literally, it was the unimaginable. What happened if I zoom in here on the lower time frame? We can see on the low time frame, we had this beautiful right here, we had this beautiful accumulation model right here on the very low time frame where we had our range low, we got that deviation, and then we got the higher low that came back for that extreme demand, making it a valid model too. And from this random 15-minute accumulation model, right, price broke out and we absolutely reversed from there. And we didn't only reverse so hard, we actually reversed at the ideal timing because this accumulation range was on Friday. I remember it like it was yesterday. Literally, we were in Spain relaxing until all of a sudden panic broke loose. But we reversed and we actually reversed back that same week, causing us to close as a wick on the weekly time frame. So as you can see right here, we might have broken structure on the daily, but we actually wicked it on the um, weekly time frame. And as you guys know from the market structure lessons in the mentorship on YouTube, if you have a wick on your higher time frame, the higher time frame overrules the low time frame. So this is actually what happened, right? Prior to price actually leaving this range, going into that new bull market area. And even from there, we obviously created another range and all that stuff. But I want you to understand the manipulation that went on in this area before we actually left it. Because we could see something similar regarding the current range that we are in from a manipulation standpoint, right? So at the moment, we obviously have this accumulation range. Like that's crystal clear. But there could be a possibility, that we shoot up and then we don't break above it like that crazy. Maybe we break structure back to bearish, coming back inside until we have that reversal, right? That is definitely possible. Some manipulation in here is 100% possible, right? So I want you guys to be aware of that because last time when we had a crazy reaccumulation range, because this was the most obvious one, these were all lower time frames, and this was just a single wick, but it was crazy down here, and that was obviously also the bear market bottom. But it was basically just the range that sent us into the bull market, and this could be the range that could send us into price discovery. So just some form of extra manipulation after trying to leave this range is definitely possible. And now regarding that sentiment I was talking about in the beginning, because I want to circle back to that for a moment, right? It's oftentimes very hard to trade sentiment because it also depends on your algorithm, right? If you only follow bull posters, obviously everyone will be bullish all the time. You could also follow people that bear post. It's really up to your algorithm. And even if it's not, even if you have a neutral algorithm regarding YouTube and X and all that stuff, it's like oftentimes it's 50-50. Sometimes it's 60-40, maybe 70-30 in one favor of something, but it's very hard to just trade only sentiment, right? Now, there are a few exceptions regarding that sentiment because sentiment can be traded if it's regarding a topic everyone understands, right? Every single trader, no matter your type of TA, whether you trade it or not, you understand it. So starting with October, right? Everyone in the crypto space knows about October, that Q4 is always bullish. So the moment we magically enter October, price is supposed to be just going up, right? So you can see right here, actually, the moment we entered October, we actually went down, right? We actually went down right here, and this was kind of our base accumulated in here and then moved higher. But the moment we entered October, we actually went down. Okay. Now, people didn't realize that prior to coming in October, actually in September, which is not even that bullish of a month normally, we pumped over 26%. So a simple retracement for a higher low, which is exactly what we traded, was expected, right? That was completely normal. That was completely fine. Now, after October, what is one other thing that every trader understands? No matter whether you use it or whether you like it, you understand it. And I think that is trend lines. Everyone understands a simple trend. I
Trend
am
line.
the worst trend line trader out there. I cannot pull trend lines. Okay. But if I had to pull a trend line, and I have seen some other people, yeah, whether they used, the wicks kind of, or the candle body closes, you name it, but this was kind of the trend line that everyone had. So everyone on Sunday was magically waiting for the candle to close bullish, which is just timing. And then from there, after that close, people were just expecting it to just do this immediately. Like why, right? Because prior to closing the candle bullish, you pumped again over over 18%, right? So what can be expected if everyone just magically expects a straight up pump after the candle closes? You can expect a pullback that again just simply aligns with a higher low and a higher high. Now, where that higher low is going to take place, we can dive into that a bit deeper, but a rejection is definitely possible, especially as Wyckoff Insider just said, we came into the most extreme supply zone, which was like around this 3 to 4 hour order block, right in that pivot point, right? It was right in that pivot point right here. And I told everyone the moment we actually start closing deeper candles into this 18-hour block, which is the block that we were watching first, we can expect a move up to that 3 hour. I think it was like 69.4 ish. Yeah, there you go. I was talking about in the Discord. Hey, we can expect a move up to that 69.4 area at least. I would have actually liked it if we could sweep it because then it would also sweep the liquidity at 70K, which is also like a psychological number. But that's exactly what we got. So, kind of what we did over the weekend, right after we finished that first stream that we did on Friday. Yeah, I think it was Friday night. We were having this uptrend, right? We were trending up right here in this environment. You kind of had the liquidation wick here, so you wick people and then you went higher. So we kind of did something like this, right? And right after the stream ended Friday, we could actually see that we created this low time frame TCT Model 1 distribution model, which we actually traded and shared in advance in the VIP Discord. We got this range right here, right there. We got that range. You had your range high, you had your range low. You got your deviation 1, so we extend our range to our deviation high. And then right here, you got the deviation 2. and then we broke structure back inside the range. Now, the people that have also watched the private lectures in the Discord know that this was a TWT schematic, therefore also a very high probability short setup. So we took this short, right? It was also lovely because it was just a hedge. It's a hedge against your long spot portfolio, which is always nice. Now, the question was this distribution going to have any follow through, right? Because within the range, we did have some liquidity curving up here. So maybe this could potentially just be a deviation, right? This could potentially be a deviation of this bigger range. This is what we were like initially watching. And maybe this could be like a PO3 where this is the expansion down. The thing is, after that aggressive move up, where we actually distributed and didn't immediately move up to 69.4, we reaccumulated, right? Also in the weekend. So what we did is we actually took this short and we turned it into a long. We hedged our hedge. So what we had right after we hit the target of the short, you create another range with your range low and your range high. But this time you started deviating the low. So you can see right here, we had that Model 1 reaccumulation where price actually ended up coming back for your most extreme liquidity point, which is a requirement if you want your Model 1 to go over in that Model 2. And then we broke structure on the lower time frame here back to bullish. So again, guys, I think I am the trader on X that has been promoting trading on Sunday more than anyone else. Like, I truly haven't seen anyone talk about it, but Sunday trading is extremely good oftentimes. Like 8 out of 10 times, you'll catch amazing trades on Sunday that you can take into Monday open. Okay. So what we saw right here is that accumulation model that was very extended. So I was extremely confident that after this distribution couldn't have any follow through and actually turned into an accumulation, we were going to have that spike up all the way to that extreme supply, which is exactly what we got, right? That's exactly what we got. We traded it in the Discord. It was an amazing trade, 2 trades, Friday and Sunday. And the only problem is whenever you have two low time frame ranges, you guys should know that it could turn into a higher time frame single range, right? So if you just zoom out for a moment and you delete all these drawings, you can see right here on like the 45-minute, these two ranges kind of disappear and you just have price that is trending up. And when you know this, you can draw your range from top to bottom, and then you're brought to something like this. And now the problem is that on that move up over the weekend, we mitigated all demand. And when all your demand is mitigated, you're left with nothing but liquidity. Okay. So we had our range high, we had our range low, and we got that deviation, and we got the lower high coming into extreme supply, making this a valid TCT Model 2 distribution, which you could have traded. The entry was a bit harder because the breaker structure was pretty aggressively. So you had to enter all the way down here with your stop loss above that third tab high. And then that's the short that you were going to be in. So it's really beautiful price action. And I've been talking about this, the more money that flows into Bitcoin, the more mature it gets, the more distribution and accumulation models that we will see. But we basically had a low time frame distribution here, a low time frame accumulation here that turned into a higher time frame distribution, okay? Where the target is already met because the target is right here. And just like Wyckoff Insider just told us, like, technically speaking, we don't really have anything that significant to bounce from in here. I am seeing like this one little block down here, but I'm just not too excited about anything, right? I'm not too excited about anything. But at the same time, I'm getting this feeling, and this is literally just a feeling from experience, that this is just a bit too far. It's a bit too deep. It would be a bit too easy, right? Oftentimes, when you get that rejection, and then a lot of people get trapped, thinking we're going to have a straight shot up after that candle closes. And then all of a sudden, everyone is watching the same POI, which are like these two areas. You kind of just not go there. You kind of just move down from your distribution, and then you just move up. And it's really awkward. It's kind of the exact same thing that we potentially saw when we were at that macro bottom, right? Where it's like you just move up, you just go down and you just move up, never hitting any important area of support. You can see right here the demand zone was right there. You just took the low and you just reversed, not giving anyone that beautiful retest, because trust me, now people change their mindset into higher low, higher high, right? But then it would just be picture perfect if no one managed to get the higher low, because that's how people FOMO in at the highs. So it's a bit speculative. It's a bit dubious of like, are we gonna put in a lower high here or for a lower low, or just reverse back up? Obviously, structure will tell us and give us the answer, because at the same time that Bitcoin is looking like this, right? You got your some alts that looking very distributive. XRP is looking like a distribution. WIF is looking like a massive distribution that already completed a low time frame distribution. So it's kind of like you got these altcoins. Some are looking like a distribution. Some are just more neutral. And then you got BTC in this doji place of like, are we gonna get a deeper pullback for the higher low, or just randomly have a higher low here? Personally, I have just this feeling that we're just gonna move up, right? And not give that retest in this area, even though there's not really a significant POI in here. It's kind of choppy price action. So I don't know your feeling about this. I heard you talk about, also not wanting that retest, but the way this is creating, the way this is forming, I just have a feeling that maybe we just start reversing. I don't know. Not give that retest where you sweep all that liquidity and hit all that demand.
Like the market makers don't need our demand anymore. I think all the over leveraged people are out of the market right now. So just reversing heavily back up right now, that
Yeah,
would be
look at this.
max pain right now.
Exactly what you said. I actually talked about this in a live stream, right? In
Hmm.
the Discord, that you can sometimes literally see, because we don't trade with software, right? We don't trade with those exo charts where you can actually see the buyer, see the sellers. Like I truly don't need that. It's just information overload for me. I know traders that are very well and very good doing that, but we can literally see it in the chart, right? Because I guarantee you that people were not shorting here, right? People were not particularly shorting there. Only we had one short running there, right? But trust me, no one was shorting there. But
They
then
were
what we
buying.
see, yeah, people were buying there, 100%, 100%. But then the thing is, right? What we see is the moment, right? This is that high, okay? This is our range high. I want to make this red. This is our range high. The moment we exceed that range high, we can see this volume spike, right? You can see this bullish candle right here. The moment we exceed that high, this candle spikes up. I don't think there were that many shorts waiting to get liquidated up there. Not that many that caused literally this exact volume spike. What this is Monday open. I truly believe, right? I truly believe that those were breakout longers, because the exact moment that this candle closed and opened was the exact moment that your weekly candle closed. So you have people behind their computer, on their phone, or behind their PC, literally waiting for the exact second your weekly candle closes, and then they go long. You can see it in the chart. And you know what happened to those people? Those exact people, you can look to the right and you can see the next volume spike. They
Bro,
literally got stopped out on this liquidation move down. I'm telling you, this is exactly what happened. And if this is 1%, it's a bit more than 1% this time. Maybe it's 2. That's exactly what's going on. And it might sound crazy if you guys obviously study TCT concepts, because then we have a distribution accumulation that's going over in a higher time from distribution. But you literally have people that are on their phone waiting for the weekly candle to close, and then they long. You can see it in the chart. This is the exact timing that the weekly candle closed. Bro, this cannot be more perfect, or am I tripping?
They have studied liquidation price.
They study and they literally study liquidation price here. So I truly believe
Uh,
that we could potentially just go up from here because the people that longed the weekly candle close have literally been stopped out.
yeah, and the smart money traders, they are not in long position right now. They are waiting for the obvious liquidity sweep. That's what you want.
Exactly. Even I don't have a current long position, right? Even I don't have a current long position right now to take towards the high. So it's like it would be I'm sorry, it would be the ideal time. It would literally be the ideal time to reverse. So it's like obviously we just have to identify the structure, right? Like even looking at this move down, we have nothing but liquidity here. Truly, there's nothing but liquidity here up until this area, right? Up until that area. But we just have to identify our market structure, right? If you start moving up, okay, and you break structure back to bearish in your expansion from this low to whatever the high might be, and you break it back to bearish, yes, we could potentially see a rotation back down towards that low. But if that doesn't happen, you could just move up. But I want people to understand that when we are referring to retail, right, there are also levels to retail. Probably the people that are watching the stream, yes, we are all retail, but we can actually think and actually trade at least something. Okay. You have people who long the weekly candle close. I'm not even kidding. You can see it on the chart. I I realized this the moment we went live. So I'm gonna make a post about this, but you can see it right here. The volume spike is literally as high, bro. It's literally almost as high. Like it's it's a joke. It's a joke. But this thing, like these people really do exist, and if maybe someone is in the stream that did this, well, hopefully you learned from it, right? Hopefully you
uh,
learned from it because it was too obvious. You hit and mitigated extreme supply. All your liquidity was below locally. You sweep it, and now you have the chance to reverse back up. Now you have the chance to reverse back up. So I'm gonna make this is gonna be a funny post. You guys better like this post the moment I post it. But yeah, it's I think it's time because
it
if
is
we
time.
look at it from a timing perspective, also to go down all the way here, that's gonna take time. You're not gonna have a flash crash. Like you have to move down like this, reaccumulate, go back up. It's well, how long do you
Like,
want this range to last? No, it's
bro, they
like
are
it's
happy. They are
screaming.
happy. They are happy. The market makers are done with this range.
Yeah, I fully agree. I 100% agree. I think even what I said in the beginning regarding the range in the bear market, maybe we can have that form of manipulation already right here, right? Maybe it's going to be applying to this range. Maybe it literally applies to this current range that we are in, what I was referring to all the way back down here before we break out. Maybe it doesn't happen on this macro scale, but it happens locally right here, which we just experienced, right? Where everyone thinks that we have that breakout or that breakdown, and then we just reverse back up after the most local accumulation that you can think of. It could
Yeah,
literally be
bro.
playing out right now.
Bro, how many people are now selling some spot to buy back lower? Literally think if you are a retail trader.
Yeah,
Because the last 10 times it happened with the when you came to this level. So
100%.
interesting.
And it's now that I'm looking at it, guys, damn, I'm on fire right now, bro. I'm feeling hot. I'm feeling hot. Let me cook up something. Okay, Mr. Wyckoff Inside, take over the screen. I'm gonna cook up something in the meantime, and then
All right.
we're gonna come back to that.
When Lars was talking, I cooked something in the back. So we have.
Just cooking up in the kitchen.
I was cooking, bro. So on this chart, I have gold, I have silver, I have Bitcoin. Gold is the alpha play. Silver is a beta play to gold. Bitcoin is a beta play to silver and gold. Now, because Bitcoin also, people are talking that it is the digital commodity. So gold is alpha. You see how the charts move. Push up. And then you create your whole accumulation range on gold, on silver, on Bitcoin. Right now, gold is breaking out. Look what we are doing. Market makers have accumulated for, let me check, guys, for 1,300 days. Now, right here, let me check on silver, 1,500 days. On gold, on Bitcoin right now. So this was your previous all-time high. This whole thing is just an accumulation. Later, this whole thing will act as support. We will never go back below some price levels. So Bitcoin accumulated for 1,300 days. Guys, am I the only one who is seeing this? This literally looks the same. Right now, you are in your reaccumulation range on Bitcoin, right here. For boom, boom, boom. Silver is already breaking out. Bitcoin is still in the accumulation range. Guys, it's time. It's literally time. So being in cash right now, holding more than, yeah, personally, I'm 80% allocated to crypto right now. I have still 20% on the side for my rotation plays. So if I see a new coin, for example, then I can buy heavy into that. But it doesn't make sense to me to be bearish right now. We can have some local manipulation, but it's clear to me the trend, we will go really high. People are in the denial phase right now. Right here, when we started this range, so here, people were calling for we can go for a 10x on my portfolio. Right now, they say when we hit the range high on Bitcoin, I will cash out. What is then going to happen? They will cash out. You get the pullback, so they think, whoa, we cashed out really good. And then you get like the craziest expansion ever, and they will FOMO back in again. The moment they have FOMOed back in 100% of their allocate of the money they took profit, that's the moment you create your distribution range, where me and the whole TCT community will exit our positions. We will exit with the market makers. So guys, this was a nice chart I've cooked up. Lars, what are your thoughts about this chart?
Bro, it's just data. like, 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 there's not one subjective thing you can say when you look at this chart. Like, what is there else to say? You can see it, right? You can just see how money flows from high caps to mid caps, from lower risk assets to higher risk assets, right? It happens in crypto, right? When you have high caps, mid caps, low caps, absolute degen plays, ultra and micro caps, but you also have gold, silver, Bitcoin, right? You also have stocks included where you have S&P and Nasdaq, and then you got those shit stocks that move up with it. It's just how money flows in risk assets in general, and it's time. It's literally time. It's basically, guys, it's one massive trade. Everything is one massive trade. Market makers who are market making the crypto markets also manipulate the markets on commodities and stocks and indices, right? It's not that you have one guy who manipulates only crypto and you have one guy who manipulates only stocks. It's all one massive trade, and it's a bubble and it's gonna burst, right?
Yeah. So
So
the last thing I want to add to this is, so the people that have accumulated gold for 1,300 days, now they see they have like the crazy expansion right now. Do you really think those people that accumulated in here, the whales, the market makers, are not gonna take profit right here after such a crazy expansion and rotate it in beta plays, for example, in silver, in Bitcoin, and eventually when Bitcoin has made the move up to 100K, I don't know, I'm not here to predict, the people will take profit on Bitcoin and they will rotate their profits into lower caps in Ethereum and down the risk curve. So that's how the money works. Ah, I think this chart is done.
someone said the gold wills are gonna rotate all into bro.
Bro is ready, but bro is loading.
So let me take back the screen because this is what I was eyeing. Okay. literally the exact price action that we're having right now, very locally, it reminded me of that distribution range. This is that distribution or that accumulation range in the bear market that we were talking about, where you had that very low time frame accumulation in the middle of nowhere after breaking down from your range, right? Before you had that reversal, basically a massive PO3. I'm thinking we could be having the exact same right now. It could be, right? It could be. You have the same things, the same confirmations. Obviously, it's the lower time frame, it's riskier, but it would be the same setup where you're like, you mitigate extreme supply, you deviate the range high, just both two important resistance POIs. You break down, you break down. Targets are way lower. Right here, the target was around 18.5. Right here, targets are like, bro, like way lower, right? You're not, I don't think you're gonna bounce from here. So targets are lower, you break down, you have like liquidity within the range, you have liquidity within the range. So maybe something like this happens. Maybe it needs a bigger accumulation. Maybe it's going to accumulate right here and reverse back up, right? But to have some form of manipulation in just this area and then reverse instead of, having that whole retrace that I'm not a big fan of. I could definitely see something like this happen. Doesn't have to be picture perfect, right? It could sweep this local liquidity. This is just an idea of that right here, right now, on the chart at this price point, we could be seeing the same sort of manipulation play before having that expansion towards 70. And I think at 70, there's a lot of liquidity waiting. So the moment we actually surpass 70, that could give us that liquidation shock, moving us up to that 72-ish area, right? We got like one other supply zone on the 12-hour. I don't exactly know where that is, but I'm really liking this idea where we just have the same type of manipulation play right here and just ignore everyone. Not so literally have that same manipulation play right here. So everyone who longed the weekly close doesn't have a position, and everyone who's waiting for the retrace doesn't have a position, right?
That's what you
It would
want.
just be perfect. It would literally be perfect. So it has the same features, it has the same characteristics. It's in the same phase of the market where you're kind of expecting a breakout, but it doesn't immediately happen. It was the same in the bear market there at the bottom. You were expecting a breakout, but you deviated. And right here, you're expecting a breakout of the trend line, but you're deviating it, you know? So it's kind of the same play, and I would like the same result to happen. It would literally leave everyone behind. Even I don't have a current Bitcoin long position, right? My position was right here. I was obviously we hit a massive take profit there, and it was a good trade, but I don't have a position open right now. So if we actually pump through 70 plus, I don't have a position on BTC. So if I don't have a position on BTC, that must be the ideal moment to pump, right? If even I can't get a position, if I can't get an entry, then I think it's the perfect time to reverse. And then you just have the same effect. Maybe it takes an extra day, maybe it takes an extra 2 days, but you got that same effect as October. Just the first few days in October, you come down, you reaccumulate, you go higher. The same few days in the week, the new week after the weekly candle closes, you move down, reaccumulate, and you go higher. This could be playing out right now. So
Would love that.
yeah, I just love this. It's not particularly that I love the PO3. I want people to understand what the PO3 stands for, why it's so good, why you have that range where, you can see the two dots, but it's a range deviation, right? And the people that don't have or haven't seen the mentorship, they'll be thinking of a range break. While people that have watched the liquidity lectures will realize this is a liquidity sweep. So you first have that deviation of your range high, trapping people into breakout longing while also sweeping the shorts that were already there. It's a double thing, it's a double effect. And then you reverse back down, making everyone worried, right? Sweeping everyone out of their positions that is long. So you have a deviation of your high, so no one is short. They have a deviation of the bottom, so no one is long, and then you reverse back up again, giving no one an entry. Voila, welcome to crypto, right? It's literally welcome to crypto. So
And
I'm really
also,
like this idea.
we literally can't do anything at this phase of the market. So we are in the two, are at the 220 days mark of this accumulation range. We're not gonna exit some spot right now to buy back lower. No, because those pullbacks, it's not worth it. The risk for missing out, it's not worth it. So we literally can't do anything. We can only get in local short trades, local long trades, but spot we hold right now. There's no reason to exit to de-risk right now, in my opinion. How do you think about it?
It's I have been screaming this at the top of my lungs. It's if you're looking to sell to buy back lower, you are looking at it from the wrong POV. You're looking at it from the wrong perspective. You got your whole risk to reward messed up. In the mentorship, I go very in depth about risk to reward. It's a whole separate lecture, right? It's the risk right now of selling, having to buy back higher. That's a higher risk than the return that you will get when you sell and you can buy back lower. Because trust me, people can talk about, oh yeah, but it's only like a 20% pump on Bitcoin that I miss out on. Well, one, you're not going to
Oh,
buy Bitcoin. So on altcoins, that could easily be 100% pump, depending on the altcoin that you're in. Second, you don't have the mental toughness. Even I don't have that mental toughness. That's why I don't do it. But you don't have the mental toughness where you can just immediately admit that you're wrong and flip the switch. No, the moment that you are being proven wrong, you're going to enter this denial phase that you're actually not
oh,
wrong and it could still be
oh.
right. Your mind's going to trick you, right? And then once your mind has tricked you, you're going to wait for that pullback because now, you kind of accepted it. Maybe some time has passed and you're like, okay, I was actually still wrong. Now you're going to wait for that pullback so you can still cash out at break even. And obviously, you're never going to get that pullback. So even when people talk about, okay, yeah, but it's only like a 20% pump that I miss out on when it could be a 60% pullback, well, it could be a bigger pump on your altcoins. And at the same time, you're not going to admit that you're wrong straight away. You're going to be in the denial phase. And then after you have admitted that you're actually wrong, surpassing the denial phase, you're going to wait for the retest to cash out at break even. It works the exact same way if you literally trade. If you're a beginner trader, right? Like a pure beginner with not the right guidance, and you enter a trade and you have a stop loss and you have a take profit, the moment price moves in the area of your stop loss, you're going to extend your stop loss, right? You're going to move away your stop loss. You're going to pull it higher because your mind has tricked you into switching the invalidation of the trade. And then once you actually realize that you're wrong and you're coming this close to your stop loss, but then starts pulling away again, you're going to wait for it to come back to break even to close it. But then it never goes to break even and it pumps through your stop loss. That's how you get liquidated. That's how literally a beginner gets liquidated. So it's like it's the exact same, but then from a spot trading perspective. The same psychology applies to spot and to leverage, right? So if you're looking to sell to buy back lower, the risk to you're on the wrong side of the market, especially now. This range, bro, this range has been going on for 200 plus days, and I think we've had around 5 range rotations. You had 4 other range rotations to sell and buy back lower. Why are you trying to do it in the last range rotation coming into Q4?
And at the 200-day mark of the range.
it's
That
it's
does not serve you well if you have done it in the
There
previous
were so
range.
many rotations. You had the chance, literally, right here. You had the chance to sell some. You had the chance to sell some. You had the chance to sell some, but not right here.
Will it doesn't make sense to me that it works like 5 times in a row. Is it like 4 times, 5 times?
Sell
But
once, twice, three, four, 5 times.
yeah,
Yeah.
that doesn't make sense to me. That we that
Especially
yeah.
if this time, right? Especially if this time you mitigated that demand, and you have a confirmed accumulation model, right? A confirmed high time frame accumulation model.
Bro, we're gonna send so hard soon. It's not even funny.
One, two, three, four. Beautiful model one and the model two. Like what you had right here, you had a one, you had a two, you had a three, and then you had the distribution model. But that was because the range was just not ready yet. We needed to range for way longer, and you can confirm that by actually looking at the range. So yes, you can make the argument if you understand and you master TCT concepts that right here, I'm gonna make that blue. Right here, you had your one, you had your two, and you had your three, right? We were talking about this model one when it happened. This was the target. We never came to that target, and right here we started distributing. Okay, we got this distribution. It was never a very good model. It was a one and just a sweep, but it was some sort of a distribution. Okay, now you could make the argument that hey, we have again an accumulation model, but instead of coming to the target, which would be here, we start distributing in here. The problem is, look at the time difference. Look what has developed after it, right? We were just, I think, 100 days into this range, 86 days into this range, having had one, two, three, four rotations. So do you think you're going to get five?
It can't happen. BlackRock is accumulating. We can't go below those prices again, in my opinion. They're not gonna be in a loss.
Um, I
But
mean,
yeah, we have to trade. We have to trade the charts, but yeah, use some logical sense with it. Makes sense. And
just
definitely some distribution
love to
slides.
witness in reverse. Obviously you have some signs of a distribution, right? The entry unfortunately was in Asia. Like that's just unfortunate. The entry was in Asia. Right here, the entry at the top. It was literally on Asia. But right now, switching switching coins to cash to buy back lower,
No,
even if it works, right? Even if it works,
but like the
over the
coins,
long period of
yeah,
time, it's not going to be worth it.
and like all the coins that we are personally in already have like the cleanest accumulation ever with the backtest in range demand. So you're
Yeah.
not gonna get like a 30% pullback right now. Or so why is it worth to catch like a 10% move to the downside to buy 10% more? For the risk that it's gonna, you also have the risk that it just rallies up, you know?
I agree. I agree. It's it's very important what's going to happen these upcoming days. This week is going to be pretty important. But like this is just such a strong base, bro. This is just such a strong base. Like you can compare this, right? Because I'm kind of looking at it now on the higher time frame as well. Like you can see the same model one, right? You can kind of see the same model one. You had the one, you had the two, you had the three. Just like you had here, the one, the two, and the three. But look at the difference of the way you moved up. Right here, when you moved up, right here, when you moved up, you just left lows behind. No proper, like actually proper demand, where you left that inefficiency. The people that have watched the mentorship know about how to pull your demand zones, right? So you moved up and you left all these lows. This move up is just so strong that I like I don't see Price having the strength to just like slice through this. Like I just don't see it happening. I don't see it happening. Um and I think the technical target of this distribution is this low. I would prefer, like I just said, to just manipulate here and move up. not even getting this retest here. But if you do get the retest, man, I'll be looking for swing longs here. The only thing that surprises me is just that, like, a lot of altcoins regarding width, right? And yeah, just width. And also Pepe, they are looking a bit worse. You know what I mean? Like I was talking about this today in the Discord, how bro, I just completely forgot to check to set an alert. But look at this model one and look at this third tap of the local model one coming into that extreme supply POI. I talked about this on today's stream. But bro, I totally missed this entry. Actually, I want to shout him out. I want to shout a TCT legend out who took it in the Discord, and it was Zero. His name is Zero on Discord. He actually shorted this Model 1. I think he did take profit a bit too early, but this was a crazy trade. So that's my only issue, right? That's why I am at the same time like, okay, if we do get this pullback, let me exit replay mode. If we do get this pullback, that could complete the distribution on altcoins. So that difference is kind of fixed. You know what I mean? Because if I just saw this chart, I would have no doubt in my mind that we're going to have that rotation here, get a bounce from the demand, and then visit that low, right? Same with Pepe. Same with Pepe. You have the exact same. I see this model 2 distribution. I see the extended LPSY, the extended lower high, having the exact same behavior as your third tap. You got the distribution in here and short and an amazing return to zone, right? Amazing return to zone. You can see price tightening up. I could see price doing this very easily. And Lucy David, also another TCT trader, is actually in this short. But like I just said, all the shorts were during Asia. Like I should not be sleeping on Monday Asia sessions, bro. Like that cost me so much money. And also, right, for the people that, for example, are invested in beta plays of Pepe, like Andy and Wolf, like including me, if you just learn how to trade, you will always have that stack of cash ready. Because guys, this is simply a model 2 distribution where on the low time frame you had a model 1. All these concepts that I'm showing you right here are explained on my YouTube in the mentorship for free. Anyone can trade this, and the proof is in the Discord. People are trading this. Now, this was for me at 4 in the morning, right? But Lucy David is in this short at the moment. Guys, if you are in this short, I want you to realize the gains that you can make when the markets are moving down, because this is what we're currently doing trading. The risk to reward on a trade like this is 17. Meaning, if you risk 1 grand, you can make 17 grand. And then you have 17 grand to reinvest in the markets at a 20% lower price point. Right? Do you see how unbeatable you are at that point of time? Because we are all convinced that this macro range on Bitcoin is going to break towards the upside. So on every pullback, you want to just be deploying cash. And a lot of people after a while are cash deficient. They don't have cash anymore because they're fully deployed. But if you know how to trade, you will always have cash on the sidelines. And worst case scenario, I could see this potentially running down towards this point right here, where you have your 18-hour demand with these equal lows, and price from there could potentially bounce. And you would have a very extended bottom formation, right? But I cannot ignore this. I'm pretty curious what your opinion on this, because we haven't really spoken about this together. Of like, obviously, when you see a trade like this is 100% a setup, right? But how does that fall in line with your views on BTC?
Yeah, it is difficult to say, because for Bitcoin I don't want to have the obvious retest. But yeah, just like what you were saying, those alts look bad.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this looks
in my opinion, it all depends like on Bitcoin. we don't have to complete these distributions on alts. We had the major accumulations on those alts. If you can go on the higher time frame for Pepe, you had that internal Wyckoff, that.
Yeah, even here. You mean also this one, probably.
Yeah, so the market makers that wanted to buy Pepe, they are in position, so they don't care about completing this local distribution. It can happen, but it all depends on Bitcoin. But if you are in the short, of course, be careful with your take profits. Don't take profit too early.
Oh, he's actually here. Zero is here. I said I took profit too early. Yeah, man, that just comes with time. Actually, if you in the private lectures regarding the how do you do that? Oh, you can show comments.
Yeah, it's
That's
like
pretty sick.
you see the chat and
Yeah,
you go
yeah,
crazy.
yeah. Oh, that's pretty interesting. We should automize that actually, if that's possible. But yeah, if you're in this short, man, this is the like these are the ultimate hedges. Also, guys, I shared this setup this morning on XRP, right? I shared this setup this morning on XRP because we were seeing the same thing on XRP right here. You have your Model 1 that goes over in the Model 2, and you have your break of structure right here, right? You have your break of structure right here. Boom, break of structure. You can put your stop loss above your invalidation, which is that third tap high from the Model 2, and then you can put your target here. Now, this is around a 2.9 risk to reward, not as good as the 17 one, obviously. However, we were also already long from Sunday on the XRP accumulation model prior to Monday opening, which was right here on the lower time frame, right? Where you had your 1, you had your 2, and you had your 3. And right here, we got that back test. Boom, you break out, you come back on the back test, you went long, and you can target all this liquidity. So this is kind of what we're doing, right? We first had the accumulation long that hit its take profit, but we let some run, right? We let some run in case Bitcoin was going to persevere through that 69.4-ish area. Now, we rejected, obviously, like we just discussed, while also right here rejecting and breaking structure back to bearish. So what did I do? I still had around a 1.5% gain in unrealized profits. Now, for people talking about, oh my God, only 1.5% gain, guys, it's a 1.5% gain on my net account. So if your account is 100K, you're up 1.5K. Okay. Now, you do the math. I have done the math for you in the mentorship regarding the risk management lectures. If you make 5% on your account a week, you're a multimillionaire in a year or two max, right? That's also what we're promoting regarding consistent compounding gains. That's why a 17 risk to reward, like we just discussed, is absolutely insane. What I did, like literally what I did when we broke structure back to bearish, is I shorted the exact same amount I was up from this long as a hedge to the hedge. So you're completely safe. You're completely safe. You got that long from here. You got the short from there. If the markets dump, you make money. If the markets pump, you make money. Right? That's the power of trading. I truly don't care about any rotations in the range up or down because we are trading on the lower time frames, making consistent money. I am 100% convinced, I've said it for months, that this macro range is going to break towards the upside. That hasn't changed. That has only been proven more and more right over time with the accumulation model developing more and more. So if we get a pullback, I just get another chance to add even more cash, right? But it's such
Yeah.
a safe feeling that you're in a trade where you're short, right? That's hedged against the long you already had. So it's a win-win. I'm gonna call it schlong. People call it schlong. We're longing and shorting, aka schlonging.
Study
So
having study stop loss entry with a slung on both
yeah,
trades. Explain that.
study
Explain
having
that.
two de-risk trades with your stop loss entry and a TP1 being hit. You've mastered the market at that point
And
because
you
no
have a
matter what
gym.
it
And
does,
you have a chest day. And you have a chest day.
yeah, I
Where
got
you
legs today. I got
well,
legs today.
when you
That's
are in a slong trade and you got a chest day, bro.
bro.
Start.
Schlonging, chest day, and then some good ass steak. bro,
And a smoothie. A smoothie.
and a smoothie. Like, what else do you need in life, right? What else do you need in life? Schlong. Yes, sir. It's called schlonging from now on. If anyone is in a short and a long at the same time, tag me and say hashtag schlong. Only the TCT warriors will know. But I think we've been going for an hour. We're gonna try and keep these streams an hour. I don't know if you have anything to get off your chest to the people.
Yeah, last thing. I have a last chart to share. Our bread on ETH.
Oof.
So, guys, you hedge your accumulation right here. You get the crazy breakout showing market maker involvement with the imbalance push out of it, and now we have left some demand behind. Guys, look at the prices at my price scale. Put this thing in your chart. If you see signs of strength in this zone, you can bid heavy. No financial advice. So that was the last thing I had to
The
say.
thing is, right? The thing is regarding Brett on ETH. I don't know about you, but that thing was not doing anything. Okay, it was silently accumulating. And the moment Mr. Wyckoff Insider and the Composer Trader make a post about it, we pump 130% a few hours after. Guys, I don't want to spoil anything, but connect the dots. Okay? Just connect some dots. Do some pattern behavior. We haven't talked about Brett on ETH ever. We make a post, we pump 130%, and we have rumors of exchange listings. Connect some dots.
Connect the dots, guys. Study. Just study.
Just study. So that's it. That's gonna be it for today. We're gonna do these live streams occasionally throughout the week. I'm gonna make a schedule. I'm gonna publish it so you guys know the fixed times. Um, and
What are the guys
study
saying?
taste. So we're gonna go live fixed times in public. If you guys want to see more of us, we have multiple live streams a day in the Discord, where also all the trades are shared, the rotation plays by Wyckoff Insider, just all the extra juicy stuff, all the behind the scenes. You can find us in the Discord, and we'll see you guys the next time. Peace out, guys.
Peace out. Ciao.